highest average salary in women's sports, which we're really excited to offer.
Wow.
So just all around, like, I'm so excited for people to see it because there's even more than people know. And she's getting paid like $75,000 a year. So definitely we want to be a part of that change, and that's what we're doing. We're obviously, I think she deserves that. I think she should be one of the top players in the world just for the sheer numbers that she's bringing. Yeah, well, I feel like it's just so crazy because the growth that Caitlin has brought to the game, the sheer amount of money that she's making these teams, people are having to move their venues for when she comes to play.
$40 million. That's how much Caitlin Clark is getting paid to not play in the WNBA. Let that sink in. While other players are fighting for a six-figure salary, Clark just signed a deal that's going to make her richer than most NBA players. But get this, Angel Reese, who's been Clark's rival for years, didn't get the same offer. She's still in the WNBA, probably wondering how Clark leapfrogged her so fast. Want to know the inside scoop on this crazy deal? We've got all the details, and trust me, it's wilder than you think. Before we fully explore the entire story, please take a moment to like this video, share it with your fellow basketball enthusiasts, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting news and insights about the sport we all adore. This conversation holds great importance, and you would not want to miss any part of it. Okay, back to it. Caitlin Clark just signed a deal that's gonna make her richer than most NBA players. We're talking about a contract with the unrivaled league that could be worth up to $40 million. That's not a typo, folks. $40 million. Let's break this down. The average WNBA player is making around $75,000 a year. Clark's new deal? It's like she's playing a different sport entirely. We're talking about a salary that's over 500 times what her WNBA counterparts are bringing home. It's like comparing a kid's lemonade stand to Amazon. The Unrivaled League isn't just throwing money around for fun. They're betting big on Clark because they see her as the future of women's basketball. They're not just paying for her skills on the court. They're investing in her star power, her marketability, and her potential to revolutionize the sport. Think about it. Clark's not just getting a paycheck, she's getting a piece of the pie. The Unrivaled League is offering players equity stakes in the league itself. That means Clark isn't just an employee, she's part owner. It's like she's gone from playing the game to changing the rules. Now, you might be wondering, how is this even possible? Well, the Unrivaled League is structured differently from the WNBA. They're not tied down by old school thinking or outdated business models. They're looking at women's basketball and saying, hey, these athletes are worth way more than they're getting paid. Let's fix that. And Clark, she's not just in it for the money. She's quoted saying, it is not just about financial gain. It is also about gaining power. She's not just looking to get paid. She's looking to change the game for every female athlete who comes after her. This deal could change women's basketball forever. We're talking about a shift in power dynamics that could ripple through all of women's sports. Clark's not just signing a contract, she's setting a precedent. She's showing every young girl out there that they can demand what they're worth. While Clark's setting new standards, her rival Angel Reese is still playing by the old rules. What does a $40 million contract look like next to a WNBA salary? The contrast is stark, and it's forcing some tough questions about the future of women's basketball.
That's what we're doing. We're obviously, I think she deserves that. I think she should be one of the top players in the world just for the sheer numbers that she's bringing. So I think that's something that needs to change, and that's what we're trying to do.
Ridiculous thing that you've heard this year.
A lot of players have been getting a lot of really personal hate emails. I don't know if you guys saw Dejanay Carrington got an email calling her the N-word, and people are getting death threats, just stuff like that. So that is just too much, obviously. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously we're not making the money that we feel like we should be making. We're, a new CBA is on the horizon, so hopefully that's changing soon.
Imagine you're Angel Reese right now. You've been battling it out with Caitlin Clark for years, matching her shot for shot, rebound for rebound. Then suddenly Clark signs this insane deal, and you're left wondering, what about me? Let's break down Reese's situation. She's in the WNBA, where the average player makes around $75,000 a year. That's not chump change, but it's not exactly living large either. Now, Now compare that to Clark's potential $40 million. It's like Reese is driving a used Honda while Clark just got handed the keys to a fleet of Ferraris. Have you seen Angel Reese lately? She's all about the social media and it's taking her down, and it's not a pretty sight, and it's not just about the money. WNBA players are struggling to make ends meet. You've got these incredible athletes at the top of their game and they're having to work second jobs in the offseason. Can you imagine LeBron James flipping burgers after the NBA Finals? That's basically what's happening in women's basketball. Reese knows this struggle all too well. She's been vocal about the financial challenges WNBA players face. In her own words, we're obviously, I think she deserves that. I think she should be one of the top players in the world just for the sheer numbers that she's bringing. Reese is acknowledging Clark's value, but you can hear the frustration in her voice. It's like she's saying, hey, what about the rest of us? So how's Reese responding to all this? Well, she's trying to keep it classy. After Clark's big announcement, Reese tweeted, "Woke up again a very blessed girl, a very happy girl." She's not letting the green-eyed monster take over, but you've got to wonder what's going on behind that emoji smile. Many WNBA players, including some of the biggest stars, have to play overseas during the off-season just to make a decent living. We're talking about flying halfway across the world, away from family and friends, just to earn enough to support themselves. It's like they're working 2 full-time jobs, and one of them is in a completely different country. So these players are globe-trotting just to make ends meet. But there's a new league in town that's saying, nah, you don't have to do that anymore. The Unrivaled League isn't just offering big bucks, it's promising to revolutionize women's basketball from the ground up. How? Well, listen up, basketball fans. Let's break down what makes the Unrivaled League so different. First off, it's not your typical 5-on-5 game. Nope. They're shaking things up with a 3-on-3 format. Why? Because it's faster, more exciting, and gives players more chances to show off their skills. Imagine Caitlin Clark with all that extra space on the court. It's gonna be like watching a highlight reel in real time. The Unrivaled League isn't just about playing basketball, it's about owning it. Yep, that's right. Players get equity stakes in the league. It's like they're not just employees, they're part owners. Can you imagine if LeBron James owned a piece of the NBA? That's basically what's happening here. And it's not just Caitlin Clark they're after.
People had to play overseas to make enough money to, support themselves throughout the year. And I do think overseas is a great option for some people, but it shouldn't be your only option to be able to make money. This really gives us a chance to kind of spread out, and the premise is the best 30 players in the world. So you're gonna see top talent being able to really show their skill set every night.
So 26 of the 30 players have been announced. When can we expect to hear the Final Four? Do we have any hints of who it could be? What we got?
I think we might have a couple more rookies in there. That might be a hint.
The Unrivaled League is snagging top talent left and right. They've already signed 26 out of 30 players, including big names like Nafisa Collier and Brianna Stewart. It's like they're building an all-star team from scratch. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but how is this actually going to change things? Well, think about it. The WNBA has been doing things the same way for years. Players get a salary, maybe some sponsorships if they're lucky, but that's it. The Unrivaled League, they're flipping that whole model on its head, and with this new setup, players have a say in how the league is run. They're not just along for the ride, they're in the driver's seat, and that means they can push for changes that benefit all players, not just the top stars. And here's the real game changer. This league could mean no more overseas seasons, no more missing holidays with family, no more jet lag from flying across the world just to make a living. Players can stay home, focus on their game, and still earn what they're worth. Just when you thought the game couldn't get any bigger, along comes a curveball that's got everyone talking. College coaches are sweating, rival leagues are scrambling, and even other sports are taking notes. Why? Because what's happening in women's basketball right now could change the playbook for athletes everywhere. Again, let's break this down. Women's basketball has been fighting an uphill battle for years. Low salaries, minimal media coverage, and a constant struggle for respect. But now, the Unrivaled League is shaking things up like a snow globe. On one side, you've got people saying this is the best thing since sliced bread. On the other, some folks are worried it might just be too good to be true. Think about it. More money and better conditions for players? That sounds amazing, right? But some people are worried this new league might actually hurt women's basketball in the long run. They're saying it could take talent away from the WNBA or mess up the college system. It's like when you're playing chess and you make a move that looks great, but then you realize it might cost you the game later on. But hold up, let's look at the flip side. Competition is good, right? When you've got two leagues going head to head, they've both got to step up their game. That means better salaries, better treatment, and better opportunities for all players. It's like when two stores are trying to outdo each other, and suddenly you're getting way better deals as a customer. And it's not just about the pros. This new league is making waves all the way down to the college level. Imagine you're a hotshot high school player. Now, instead of just dreaming about the WNBA, you've got options. You could go to college, sure, but what if you could start making serious money right out of high school? That's a game changer, folks. This isn't just about basketball anymore. Other sports are watching this go down, and they're taking notes. Imagine if women's soccer or hockey started following this model. We could be looking at a whole new era in women's sports, where athletes are getting paid what they're worth and have a real say in how things are run. Alright, let's wrap this up. Caitlin Clark just flipped the script on women's basketball. It's not just about her getting paid. It's about every girl out there realizing they can demand what they're worth. This is bigger than one player or one league. It's a whole new game, so what are you gonna do about it? Are you gonna sit on the sidelines, or are you gonna get in the game? Every time you watch a women's game, share a highlight, or buy a ticket, you're part of this revolution. You're helping create the next Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese. The future of women's sports is up for grabs. Who's gonna step up and claim it? That's the real question here. And you know what? The answer might just be you. Thanks for watching, and please leave a comment on your thoughts. And if you would like and subscribe, that would be great. Now let's go.